Is it snowing down there?
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome.
We are on Facebook. Hello, Facebook, everybody. Good morning to our Facebook community.
Morning,
Okay, Michelle, I'm turning it over to you. We got another minute before I'm going to mute everyone, so why don't you unmute, Michelle? Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. We have another almost minute. If you want to say hello. Hi, Kay. Oh, you're muted. That's okay. Hi, Kay.
We are
Lovely.
I just sent you a text once again, the automatic notification.
Yep, I got that. Okay.
Great.
All right. I'm going to get the recording started and turn things over to our lovely hostess, Michelle Niels.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning chat. It is, what is today? It is
Springtime.
The 18th? 21st. Oh my gosh, I'm off. It's the 21st and I think it's the first day of spring. Happy spring, everyone. Welcome to our community call. We have this wonderful community coming together every Monday morning for our roundtable chat. We get to share our love and passion and joy and our stories, LifeWave paths, and how they've changed our lives and the lives of so many people we know and love. So welcome, welcome. If you are new, we extend a very warm Live Younger community welcome to this amazing community. If you will soon find out that you are surrounded by like-minded, like-spirited, open-hearted people who want to serve and want to make the world a better place. I can't help but comment on Marie's picture, the hearts exploding. I love that. I love to see all of your faces and some of your pictures, and welcome, welcome. The purpose of this call, for those of you who are new, is to come together and share testimonials about any and all of the patches, as well as ask questions. And we have quite a wide-ranging experience in our community. We have many healthcare providers and some chiropractors and MDs, and some of them are even on these calls. And then we just have a lot of experience with people who have been with LifeWave for years. So it's an opportunity for you to share your stories and to ask your questions. And I'm your host, Michelle Niels, and I co-host with Karen O'Neill. And we just welcome you. If you're brand new and you would like to introduce yourself and tell us where you're from, we would love to extend our Live Younger community welcome and much love to you. So how we do this call is at the bottom of your screen. If you are on a computer or a laptop, you'll see reactions. There's a reaction button, and if you just click on that, it'll say raise hand at the bottom. And if you do have something to share, a testimonial or a question, please raise your hand. It makes it easier for me to see who would like to speak. And if we get a lot of people that want to share, then I ask that you just keep your story brief so we give everyone a chance. And then the disclaimer that we need to share at the beginning of every call, and that is, the LifeWave products do not claim to heal, treat, diagnose, prevent any disease or disease condition. And so we remain compliant by using symptom names only. So how you felt before, which patch or patches you used, and please tell us where you put the patches, because sometimes we put them in unusual places, and everyone is going to have the question, did you put your patch? And then what was the result after you used your patches? So it looks like Casey would like to start us off, and thank you for starting, Casey. And again, if you have a question or a testimonial, please use the icon at the bottom of your page and raise your hand, and I'll call on you. So let's start with Casey. Welcome. Good morning.
Thank you so much. I have a customer, and I've been asking everybody I know who's ever heard of this. After she had her last pregnancy, so it's been 6 years, she has this pregnancy mask on her face, and she covers it with makeup, but she wants to know, and truthfully, I could not have even told. If she didn't tell me, I would have thought it was just like a shadow or something. But it really bothers her, and she wants to know if there's a patch that would help get rid of it. It's been 6 years. You would think it would go away by now. But she's just really trying to get some help. So I don't know if anybody has heard of that before.
Casey, how old is this woman?
I'm going to say she's probably in her mid to late 30s.
Okay. Yes, I'm familiar. I'm familiar with it. It is called mask of pregnancy, and I can imagine that she's self-conscious. Many times we are more self-conscious about something of our appearance that no one else notices. But you know, any kind of, and if anyone else has a thought, please raise your hand. Skins are often resolved by the X39. How long has she been using the X39?
I don't know if she's still using it, because I think she used it for several weeks and didn't notice any difference. And so I think she probably was disappointed.
Okay. Well, if you can find that out, that's number one. I'm sure everyone on this call that's been on calls before knows that things take time. And I'm sure you are well aware of that, Casey, especially if it's a condition that's been there for years. It's going to take a little while. And if she's only been using the X39 for, quote, weeks and not even, 90 days, she needs to, hang in there. And the other thing might be aloe vera, because it is a skincare patch, and we often do, place it right here at night on the third eye point. So that would be another suggestion. And if anyone else has an idea about this, which is just kind of a darkening of the skin on the face. Yes, someone's raising. Allie? Yes, would you like to share? Please unmute.
People are looking for particular outcomes, and they may not see the other changes happen. And with the patches and other energy work, the body's wisdom is going where it's needed first. So something else could be healing that she's unaware of.
Allie, beautiful. It sounds like you have been really listening to the calls, and that was an excellent response. And Casey, that is true. If she's only tried it for a few weeks, her body is attending to other more important things at the moment. Darlene, did you have a comment on this, or do you have another thing to share, something else? Okay, go ahead and unmute, Darlene.
I would say she really needs to wear it maybe even longer than the 90 days. We've been wearing the patches, it'll be 3 years this August, and my age spots on my hand did not start going away probably until almost the beginning of the second year. So the patches are definitely taking care of higher priorities. So something like that, I would say, is probably going to take longer for her to see a change.
Which patch did you use, Darlene?
For the first year, I did not use anything but X39. And after that, I did start using aloe vera. And I do wear those two patches every day. I wear X49 every day. But for the first year, we didn't use anything but X39.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Darlene. That was beautiful. This is our community. We have so much wisdom here. All right, Casey, if you would like to take your hand down, unless you had another thing to share. And now Kay, and then Jennifer.
I thought I might address that question from what I would consider, yes. And that is, it's probably hormonal. So I love the SP6 for anything that has to do with the endocrine system, thyroid, hormones, hot flashes. It's just done so many things for my body, and I'm very close to 80 years old. So imagine what they'll do for a 30-year-old. And the other thing is the Alavita Trio. I use that every day. That is the Alavita patches plus a daytime cream and a nighttime cream. And it is the most wonderful cream I've ever used ever on my face. And so I would encourage her to consider doing the whole trio and the SP6 in addition to the X39. And yes, you have to give it time. If you've had something for 6 years, it isn't going to go away in 30 days.
Beautiful, Kay. Oh my gosh, thank you. That was wonderful. SP6, I had forgotten about that. Yes, absolutely. Good call. All right, Jennifer, you're next. Unmute. Good morning.
Good morning to Casey's question here. One of my customers has been on the patches for now 5 months. In the first month, she noticed pain going away in her hands. In the second month, all the spots on her hands started to fade. And I got to see her in person last month, and I couldn't believe it was the same person because she had had a lot of bumps on her hands, as well as spots. And it was unbelievable. So that happened quicker than maybe I would have expected, being a skin thing. But I heard something very, very exciting just yesterday. One of my team members has been working with someone that has a really serious immune disease, and he has had it for years. He was on his deathbed long ago. Maybe, I don't know. I think it was somewhere in the realm of 10 to 12 years, maybe more. And he's been consistently, when he goes in to get checked, his T cell count is consistently in a range that is much better than when he started his medications over the years. And he went in this last month, and his numbers were in the normal range. They had gone from 200-ish to 500, and in this particular condition, 5 to 1500 is in the normal range. And so he was ecstatic, and he'd only been using X39 for 20 days. So this was an exciting story. So.
Oh, Jennifer, thank you. Beautiful. The blood tests that's significant. That's actually what I say to people. I have a elderly customer who says he hasn't noticed anything. And I said, when was the last time you went to the doctor? And he said, oh, it's been, a year. And he'd been on the patches for about 3 months. As a customer, he was using mostly X39 and the occasional non or glutathione. And I said, well, when is your next blood test? Because that could be the telling sign right there. So I'm going to be checking back in with him. So great share, Jennifer. Thank you. No one else has a hand up right now. And I think our numbers are a little bit low because we didn't get the text reminder. So Robin is aware of that, and she's going to let her assistant Bethany know. We're about half the number that we normally have on a Monday morning. So until someone else is ready to share, I'll share a little story of something that happened to me yesterday. And I've been using the patches for about 2.5 years now. And so it's so fun. It just keeps getting better. And I learn from these calls. I learn many people's ideas. So my boyfriend and I were going to go hiking yesterday, and we were trying to rush out the door because we had kind of a full day on the other end. And we get in the car, and my foot started cramping. And I will say I used to get foot cramps all the time. I mean, debilitating, where I would literally be on the floor, writhing in pain, just so bad. And I was taking magnesium. This was before the patches. Magnesium, and I was using potassium. I would eat a banana. Sometimes that would help. And since using the X39, I think since that's the most consistent thing for me, my cramps and even sometimes calf cramps are a thing of the past. I mean, and I would get them about once a week, once a week or every other week. Well, yesterday, for the first time in months, and we're getting ready to go hiking. I said, honey, stop. I got to run back in and get Eon, and I want to get some patches. So I came in and I thought, well, maybe I'll try Energy Enhancer on the bottom of my feet and an Eon, because then the other foot started cramping. It's like 2 feet that were like this. And within about 3 to 4 minutes, they started to relax. And within 5 minutes, my feet were completely relaxed and the cramping was gone. So anyone who has foot cramps, I think it's been shared on the call before, Eon is really good, but I also thought to use Energy Enhancer because I also had not gotten a lot of sleep the night before, and we were going to do kind of a strenuous hike. And between the Energy Enhancer, the X9, and the X49, I was just cruising up this really, really steep hill. I'll probably post some pictures on Vibrant Living from our hike. So that's my share for foot cramps. Yay. Okay, we have Dr. Tom.
Hey,
Good
Michelle.
morning, Dr. Tom. Hi.
Good morning indeed. Since you mentioned foot, I'll share. I don't see Donna on the call, but she slammed her toe very severely last week. She's been on X39 coming up on a year. And when we get into a place where we've got longevity, we've got that momentum of the recuperative technology, the body heals so much more quickly. So she sent me a picture. She called me when she did this. Lots of pain. So immediately put Ice Wave right on. Am I coming through?
It's a little choppy, Dr. Tom, but we can hear you. You said she used Ice Wave?
Oh, I'm so sorry. So she used Ice Wave right on.
That's okay. And I'm sorry, I was just going to say, if you're not speaking, would you please mute yourself? I'm hearing a little bit of background noise. Go ahead, Dr. Tom.
Michelle, I'm gonna speak.
Hey,
and
Dr. Tom.
If it's not good, just mute me and I'll stop talking. But so I'll be.
Okay, or maybe stop the video. You could also stop the video. Sometimes if the video is stopped, we can hear you more clearly just by voice.
Okay. Yeah. So she slammed her foot very, 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 very severely. Big toe, and immediately Ice Wave within minutes brought her relief. And I suggested also that she put an SP6 on it. The next day, it was beautifully bruised, of course. The bruise showed up. And she continued to use Ice Wave and Energy Enhancer on the bottom of her feet, and SP6 right at the site. And the spreading of the bruise was profound. And it's really interesting, once the body has the capacity to actually mobilize all the resources to the tissues, it takes care of the surrounding tissue as well. So a lot of times, if people are in trouble, sometimes they won't even bruise. The thing will just hurt. But it was a beautiful indication, that the healing was happening, not just at the site of tissue torment, but in the surrounding tissues as well. And so I thought it was a really nice illustration that, once you've got some momentum with the patches, and like I said, she's been on X39 for about a year. And once you've got some momentum, the body just goes right to work. So 3 days later, she sent me another picture this morning. 3 days later, bruise fully gone, in something that probably would have taken a week before. And I also noticed how healthy her skin looked on her foot. And I said, is the rest of your skin equally healthy? And she said, yes, it's brilliant. It's amazing how the momentum of the patches, and using multiple technologies actually accelerates that whole thing. So she's seen skin repair. She's seen new hair growth. And I thought it was a great story. I love helping people recover quickly, right? We're gonna hurt ourselves, or we're gonna have trauma, but the key is how quickly can you recover from the trauma.
Oh my gosh, I love your quote. I'm going to use that. Momentum. We have momentum with the patches. And would you please enlighten me and maybe the rest of us, Dr. Tom, why did you suggest SP6 for an injured foot? You said something about mobilizing resources. Would you enlighten us a little bit about why SP6?
Sure. Well, we market SP6, to reduce cravings. If you look on the website, all it says, it doesn't say sugar cravings anymore. I suppose we had to take that away for legal reasons. It's amazing what these technologies do that we're not allowed to say. But it helps with all cravings, and it helps because it puts the body in a ketogenic state. It puts the body in a place where it's mobilizing repair steroids, lipids, fatty acids, right? So you're using fat as a fuel source instead of using sugar as a fuel source. And for a lot of people who are trying to make dietary changes, that can be a slow process. It takes a little while to, change the lifestyle and the food choices to get to the point where you're actually using fat as a fuel source, which is the normal, thriving, healthy body. I heard somebody a year or so ago talk about putting SP6 right on the source of the injury. And I can't tell you what the mechanism is, but because it's so good at hormone balance, and our opening story here about the lady with the mask pregnancy, I saw that in the comments, SP6 was suggested too. And it balances all our hormones. Again, probably not something we're allowed to say, but David speaks brilliantly about almost every disease process that we have being a hormone imbalance issue, right? Which is underneath a using fat as a fuel source issue. So SP6 does all of that, balances hormones, puts the repair steroids back in order, and for some reason, right at the source of, it's an extra little poke in the ribs to the tissue that's troubling. So if you have an injury and you want to get the repair, you want to get the circulation there, you want to get all of the repair steroids to the site, it seems to work brilliantly. The body just knows.
Dr. Tom, I feel so much smarter now. Thank you. I am looking forward to you sharing at length about, I think that's the one that you said you would share on a Facebook Live at some point, if you haven't already. So looking forward to that. Thank you, Dr. Tom, for enlightening us. And I want to respond to the chat. SP6 was mentioned much earlier about the woman with the facial darkening from pregnancy, and someone asked where to put it. So probably on the site, which is in the booklet, SP6 goes on the left inside lower leg, about 4 finger widths above the inside ankle. And there's like a little tender spot. It's called SP6 because it stands for spleen 6, which is an acupuncture point on that inside of the left leg above the ankle, 4 finger widths above. Okay? All right. Now, I think, Casey, that might have been why you put your hand up, because you had that question. Did you have another question, Casey? And then we'll go to Cynthia.
Well, it's not really a question. I think Dr. Tom heard me say this before. I took a really bad fall on the ice a couple weeks ago and hit my head pretty good on the concrete and hurt my back. Well, I've been telling that story of how it was just incredibly healed, if I can say that word, by using the ice wave patches on the back of my head, on the back of my back, on my hand. And within a couple hours, there was no pain, nothing, no bump on my head. But I was sharing that story with other people who have shared that they fell, and they're still hurting. And so I'm telling them that they need to use the patches, but I had no idea how many people fall. I'm just amazed. And so I've got a whole new audience out there that I need to talk to, all the people that are falling. But I just wanted to share the patches that really helped me. And I did use the Eon too because of possible inflammation. So patches are great.
Thanks, Casey. Yes. Amen. Hallelujah. The patches. We have 2 more shares, and then I'm going to turn it over to Robin. We have about 5 minutes left. So Cynthia and then Allie. Go ahead, Cynthia. Go ahead and unmute.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. Progress report for myself. I've been using X39. I stopped using X49 because I ran out. I just moved and they went to the wrong mailing address. And the Y-age patches and sometimes the ice wave. I haven't quite figured out what works best for me, but I'm moving much better than I did and forgetting my cane more often. I try to remember to bring her as a fashion statement just because when I sit too long, I stiffen up. But I came to this call today with a couple of questions. After listening to Michelle and the person before her who talked about the T-cell count, you talked about the Eon patch. Okay. My new life partner, I was using patches on him for a little while, and I stopped because, dietary issues were not quite there yet, and I'm just trying to get him hydrated. He likes coffee and soda, but when I can get him to drink, a couple of bottles of water a day, I'm going to put the patches back on him because in the first week, he had noticed he had been using an inhaler every couple of days. He stopped using it even though he smokes like a chimney. So I figured things were working for him, but he has a gut inflammation issue. That's my second question, and that came after Dr. Tom and the SP6. That's been going on way too long. He's been trying to prep to do the diagnostic work, but the last time we went in, it was like, if we try to do a diagnostic now, we're going to perforate your gut. Here's another round of, heavy-duty antibiotics. Go home for a couple of weeks and try it. And he's just in misery. But my first question about the Aeon patch was, Michelle said about foot cramps, which is great because I get them, but he has restless leg at night. And I think he takes a prescription for that too, but he gets a lot of pain in his legs. So I have the Eon patches. Where do I put them on him? And what do I do? And then what would I do for the gut inflammation? I have the Y-age, I have the ice wave, I have the energy enhancer. I haven't used any of them on him. And thank you. I'll be quiet.
Cynthia, how long has he been using? How long has he been using X39?
He used X39 for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then I just stopped putting them on him. I'm like, you're not even hydrating. Why am I putting patches on you? And so I will start again when he comes home from his job today. But yeah, not terribly long. Like Allie B said, I had put them on him looking for a totally different result in the first place. He can't turn more than 35 degrees in either direction. And I know that's going to be a long-term process, but within the first week had the breathing change. So I knew that, it's going to what needs to be healed first.
So X39, there's research. I'm not sure if it's on the website, but I do remember Dr. Melinda Connor speaking about gut health and changes. I heard this talk, and it was at least a year ago, where she talked about gut changes within a matter of a very short time, like a week or two. They were seeing changes in the gut with just X39. So, again, that's the granddaddy of them all. And as far as I think that might be a diagnosis, what you were saying about his legs. So I'm going to use different words. For people whose legs are jumping around at night in bed, that's okay. That's okay. We're all learning here. But when the legs are moving at night and they keep you from sleeping, I've heard several people who just the X39 within a matter of literally days. This gentleman sounds like he used it for a couple of weeks, but again, keeping in mind that the body is going to send the divine intelligence of the body is going to send the stem cells to where they're needed the most. And so maybe those legs jumping around was not as critical as, say, his heart or his liver or his brain or something else. And
Well,
the
also,
hydration is very critical.
I know the hydration is critical, but also the reason the legs jumping around are on my radar is because he's been commenting on it the past few days, and I haven't been patching him the past few days, so maybe it was better for a while. So I need to ask him about that. Thank you.
Right. And, Dr. Walt enlightened us all to energy enhancer at the bottom of the feet for so many things. And that could be very helpful for the dancing legs. And then Jennifer in the chat says, Eon worked for one customer and energy enhancer for another on the bottom of the feet. So I would say those two, but again, remembering that X39 is setting the foundation. It's like a farmer who gets his soil ready to plant the seeds, and X39 is absolutely the one that needs to be used by everyone continuously, and really to start with for at least three months. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Before you add others, unless there's something really cool. Yeah, you're welcome.
No,
Allie, we're going to end with you. We're at the bottom of the hour.
Sorry, I still have a
Yes, Cynthia.
So
okay.
Why would I put energy
go
enhancer
ahead.
on the bottom of it? Why would I put energy enhancer on the bottom of his feet at night when he's trying to sleep?
Yes.
I mean, I understand. So yeah, that just sounds counterintuitive.
I know it does. Believe it or not. Yes. It's one of those, the body's going to do exactly what it needs to do. It's not going to, there's always a chance that it might respond in his body differently, but yes, I have absolutely heard about people using energy enhancer at night for the legs issue. Yes.
Thank you.
And
now, if I can find myself again.
let's. Are you done, Cynthia?
I am done.
Yeah,
it? I was looking for myself so I could mute myself now and take down my hand. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Hey, it's good to see you.
All right. You're welcome. And Jennifer says, Dr. Walt said the...
Hello?
Just one second. Dr. Walt said the energy patches diffuse the focus of energy and increase circulation. So that's the energy enhancers are, on those bottom of the feet points. They're just going to improve circulation throughout the body. Okay, Allie, you're next, and then we'll turn it over to Robin to close out the call.
I have a comment technology challenge. Where is the hat protocol? I know it's somewhere in the Facebook group. How do I find it for brain stuff?
The hat protocol. I know it's on Nitty Gritty. Is it also on Live Younger Success? I don't know if someone can jump on. Is it Robin?
Yes, in the library section, you'll find it under, and I'll go there right now. I was just there yesterday, and it just takes a little adjustment to learn the new training website, but you guys are doing great. I know I'm in a learning curve myself because I know where everything is on Nitty Gritty.
I know, Robin, I'm exactly the same, even though I'm helping with Live Younger Success and all. I'm pretty sure it's under patches and then patching protocol.
Yes, thank you.
And Robin, before I turn it over to you, there is a question in the chat. Welcome, Victoria. First time on a call. I have a question about which patches for...
I responded to her privately.
Okay, wonderful. And also, just for her knowledge, Victoria, that's a name of a disease that you mentioned in the chat, and you're new, so we're just educating, but we stay away from diagnoses. And so you might say for that condition, a clouding over the eye, a clouding like a cloudiness. So, but if anyone else had a question about that, I think X39, I've heard people say just that has helped with eye issues. So turning it over to Robin to close out our call and share about tonight.
Okay, let me see if I can figure out how to do my screen. Well, hi, everybody. Thank you, Michelle.
Bring your beautiful face.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, we always get to learn from these calls. And Dr. Tom, I want to make a date with you, an SB6 date. we'll do a nice little recording that we'll have available for people because there's so much that goes on with that patch that makes such a difference. And our hormones kind of control everything, or most everything. So today is Monday, and tonight we're going to have a call on the master skill of inviting. We have the early bird special for August ends on March 31st. And we also have Manager Mania going on. And for those of you that have never kind of really looked at this as a master skill, until we invite someone to take a look at what we got, we don't have anything. So our leaders asked us to do this. We did it on the Thursday chat last week, and Darlene shared what she's doing that's really working for her, which is totally different than what we're going to talk about tonight. So there's styles and ways for everybody, no matter who you are. So that's tonight. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, we have Dr. Jeff on with us. And then next week, we'll have Ann Morrow. And Ann is going to be new to the lineup on Tuesday night. And she's an RN and a nutritionist and is Dr. Tom's sponsor, an extraordinary woman. So she's joining us for the lineup for Tuesday night. I wanted to also acknowledge those of you that stayed up for the launch and opening of Thailand. It was at midnight my time the other night for 2 hours, and I stayed up, and hopefully we will get a recording so everyone could hear David's talk. It was wonderful. And he talked very slowly because he was being translated. And then right after that, Gregory got to speak for 10 minutes, and you'd all be proud. Not just that I'm partial, but you would be proud. He was fabulous. He was gracious, and he tried a little Thai, and he was educational, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So he said to say hello to everybody. He's at dinner right now with Dr. Ed Chu, the regional manager for Asia, and Superporn, the country manager for Thailand, his friend William. And they're having, and Jules, who's in charge of international. So they're having a lovely dinner right now, and he sends his best to everyone. And we'll get the text messaging thing figured out, everyone. So thank you for the feedback. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I think that's all for now. So have a fabulous day, everybody, and we will see you on the call tonight. Hopefully we'll get the notices fixed. Bethany's working on it right now. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everyone, for your stories. Welcome, Victoria, and bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful week and keep on patching.
If you want to unmute
Share
and
the
say
love.
bye, that's great. Anyone want
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Michelle.
you.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great
Have a
day.
wonderful day.
Hey.
Have a great day. It was
Have a blessed
awesome.
day.
Bye.